I have the ocean running through my veins. I have the mountains in my bones. I have the stars in my eyes and hope in my head, as do we all. Memories seem to be, for me, flashes of scenes mostly. A scene will flash in my mind and a memory will come forth. The scene is also the memory. It is a hypnotic experience. My earliest memories were most likely when I was about 4 years old, I think. I really do not know, but it is a pretty accurate guess. My first memory is a soothing warmth of bright sunlight, which I know now came from the south, facing windows of a second-floor apartment on 4700 Flournoy Street on Chicago's west side. The year was about 1952. All of a sudden, in memory, here I am. Now what? Now forever what, as life unfolds mostly out of my control. Most of my earliest memories are of close-ups of the warm iron radiator, the wooden floor, and various forms of furniture from a close-to-ground viewpoint. Colors and textures come to mind. The layout of the apartment also comes to mind. A one-bedroom, second-floor apartment on the west side of Chicago that eventually 3 children and 2 adults shared. It was city, and if one were to play, it was in the alleys and street and along the sidewalk. The alley was made of cinder dumped from coal-burning boilers that heated the buildings. Along with the black cinders were tens of thousands of tiny broken glass pieces of bottles of various colors mixed in. On a sunny day, the alley looked to be a wide path of shiny, sparkling gems. The alley was mostly shaded as the elevated train tracks for both freight trains and the L trains were supported on steel girders that were at the second-floor level of the apartment. Noisy does not do the noise justice when any kind of train went by, and they always went by, morning, noon, and night. The trains also vibrated the buildings and everything in them, including the people. The elevated train track stood about 10 yards from the northern wall of our apartment building, and our apartment was on that side, second floor. Amazing, the building, along with the people in it, didn't crumble and disintegrate with the loud sound and vibrations. Maybe we did. Wash day was usually every day for someone in the building. There were 6 families that lived in our 3-story brick building, and there were somewhat larger brick buildings surrounding us. The basement was 4 feet below ground and consisted of concrete and brick walls and a concrete floor with 2 drains. There were 3 double gray concrete wash tubs with a scrub board and a hand wringer in each. One filled a tub with soapy water and then scrubbed the clothes by hand on the washboard. Then the now soapy clean clothes were dumped into the other clean water tub and put through the hand wringer. Then the clothes were put on a line somewhere to dry. The somewhere depended upon the season and the weather. In the winter, the clothes were either hung up on rope lines in the basement or brought up to the apartment and hung on lines in the apartment. Some clothes at times were hung up over gas stoves in an apartment and then caught fire. A little too dry. The ones hung in the basement on lines were dried by the warmth emanating from the coal-burning furnace boiler that heated the water in the radiators in the apartments. The hot water radiators were nice if the heat was sufficient or even working, a lot of stooping going on.